Hello, my name is Dale DuFay. I'm going to narrate this video for Mary Hall. And this is an area in Antarctica where she found some, it looks like LiDAR images of what appear to be metropolis, a city or ancient site. Yeah, you have to ask, how is that possible? There's been ice on this continent of Antarctica for millions of years. But the melting ice is revealing some incredible things. So let's check out this video here, and you could see at that coordinate 72 degrees south by 4 degrees 33 feet 37 inches east is this area where the ice is melted. And you can see, it's not pixelation. You can mistake it as pixelation. I'll even show you an area where there's mountains and it doesn't pixelate like this at all. It's basically LiDAR images from this company down here. If you can see where my mouse is down here, MaxR Technologies. And that's just what they do. And you can clearly see it's not pixelation, but you clearly see sharp right angles and artificial features all over. You could, there's not anywhere on this entire screen where you can look and not see anything. Here she marks some of the areas that she thought she saw maybe a temple or something. Now the sad thing is by the time this is all uploaded and on YouTube where you watch it, it's not as clear as what we're seeing here. It's much clearer. It's unfortunate that happens. In fact, I do the audio on this and then I pass it on to her, and you get that replication degrade. Every time you duplicate something, it degrades more and more. But we see it clearly here, and hopefully you can see it as well. But there are definite right angles, steps. This is that feature she highlighted before. But in the dryer, there's got to be something here. You could see color variations and whatnot. Of course, it could be ice, but the ice is indeed melting, and you can clearly see right angles everywhere. She's done a few videos and discoveries in Antarctica, and this is yet another site. They're difficult to find. I'll show you. We'll quickly go over to Google Earth, and I'll show you areas that might, that are similar to this from a distance. And they're clearly mountains. Like here's a square plaza here, look at that. And here, and also, I think she highlighting what appears to be a temple there. But you could clearly see these plazas there, look at this. And again, that's not pixelation, because if you look down here also, it's 1 mile out and in 3D. This is an option button. This is not a reference button over here. That's an option. So right now it's in 3D. And you can clearly see all these features everywhere. She has actually 2 videos of this area, and she highlights even more incredible things. And look at this. You could clearly see streets and areas of, temples, residential, manufacturing. Now here we go into 2D, and you could clearly see it's not pixelation. Some of these areas are blurred out. It could be because of incomplete data, or it could be because they don't want us to see a lot of this. It's so, in fact, sometimes she'll find and record really good findings, and then we'll go back and look a day or so later, a week later, or whatever on Google Earth, and they'll be completely blurred out like this. So we know it's not incomplete data. It's just that they're trying to hide it. I can imagine this MaxR Technologies knows exactly what we're looking at here, but they can't, pronounce it, of course. But I'm sure they do release it to certain government officials and whatnot, because this is obviously, look at this checkerboard right here. This is definitely not pixelation. Here she's highlighting what looks to be like a tall structure, a plaza, if you will, a government building perhaps. And you can see it all over. You can see this huge, some of it, you can see it, the data lines bring it out into the water there, but that's just the data line there where they're putting it together. But she's highlighting something here. But let's go, first of all, let's go to Google Earth, and we could actually see this. Now, this is the area I point. This is close to where she found her stuff, but I want to show you like a mountain region. Now, these are mountains, and I want to take out this. We're 14 miles up. Let's go a mile up. See, we're 2 miles. Now it's a mile, but you can clearly see there's no, pixelation. This is what it would look like if there were, if your area was not what we think it may be. You see some, lines and things like that and irregularities, but these are clearly mountains, you know. So it's not, she looks in all these areas too. Some of these areas where the ice is melted reveals, what look like, LiDAR images of what, metropolitan areas. Now we know that LiDAR cannot lie. In fact, Mary and I had made a little jingle about that, that the LiDAR cannot lie. I'll spare you, I won't sing it or anything, but it's true. So these areas that she's finding are very, very significant. Again, we can go into the other video. It's 10 minutes long, but we won't do the whole thing. I just wanted to show you an example. Here again, we're in 2D. This is a reference button. This is an option button, not a reference button. So she's 2 miles out right here, and you can clearly see that it's way different than what I showed you on a mountain range. It looks like a LiDAR image of something like they find in the Amazon or in the African desert or the Arabian, desert, or the Mojave Desert and things like that, or under the rainforests. They're finding all kinds of things. It's incredible because of this technology from Maxar Technologies down here. Again, you can see the coordinates 2 miles out. That's not pixelation, obviously. It can't be because it's way too irregular. And, the irregular landscape wouldn't cause irregular pixelation. But you can see how difficult it is to find, right? Again, she's in 3D right now. This is a option button, not a reference button. So here it is, the coordinates. It's pretty much the same area on the other. But look at that. It looks like a step pyramid, doesn't it? Look at that. The top platform with the steps going up. It's amazing. Again, there's not anywhere here you can look where there's not something. It's everywhere. This was, what kind of civilization was this? Was it human beings? Do human beings go that far back? Because again, obviously there's no argument by geologists that the Antarctica has been covered with ice for millions of years. So if these are remnants and ruins of civilizations, then they are millions of years old. So what kind of people were these? Look at this. Look at this. This is incredible. Everywhere you look, and if you take your time and you can find these areas. When I used to look, I always looked on the coastlines and the shore and off the ocean floor and find wonderful things. But Mary actually she has the patience to look for these things in the interior of Antarctica, where I never even thought, why bother looking there? Because why would there be something under the ice that's starting to be revealed? Because the ice is melting. I didn't even think to look here, but this is like the third major, maybe the fourth major site that she has found. And she has a pretty predominant people looking into this. Mary Joyce and others are very interested in this. And that Mary Joyce is actually making articles and presenting them to pretty predominant magazines throughout the world. Because in a sense, if these are ancient civilizations, beyond, ancient to the ancients, I like to say, if they indeed are, then Mary was the very first one to discover them. Ancient civilizations. Of course, it's been, suspected by many people that obviously something's going on in Antarctica that they're finding. So why wouldn't there be ruins from super ancient, extreme ancient antiquity, here. This is going on. But again, the question is were they human beings? I honestly think they were. So tell Mary what you think, and be sure to share, like, comment again, and by all means, subscribe. And give her a thumbs up, because this takes a lot of effort, and she does a great job and has many wonderful discoveries. So thanks for watching, and we'll talk at you later.